You don't even know where you went wrong, do you? You are a modern young man, which means that you are much more feminine than you would like to be. Society tells you that it's okay to be feminine and weak. But what they don't realize is that probably one of your biggest goals is to attract more girls, make a lot of money, and build a good physique. And the only way to do that is by becoming more masculine. Modern feminine men will get offended at this, but so what? Let them. Men today are literally growing tits. It's called gyno, or gynecomastia. Even I have it a little bit. It happens when a boy who's going through puberty has elevated levels of estrogen in his body. And this is becoming even more common now. I mean, how weird is it that we, as men, literally start developing breasts as girls would? We live in a time when men are literally becoming more like women. They are becoming much more feminine than they should be. Your testosterone is probably like 50% lower than your great-grandfather's was. There is a shockingly high number of men who are no longer fertile, which means they can't have children. Like, imagine going through your life trying to improve yourself in the pursuit of being a father, raising strong children, and when you finally get to the point when you can have children, you realize that you are infertile. Men are much more feminine than you think, and it's because of the weak modern-day conditioning. From the time you were just a little boy in kindergarten, you would get shouted at by the obese feminist teachers to stop wrestling with your friends. But what they don't realize is, that is how boys grow. That is how we become masculine. In school, you had to sit still for almost 8 hours a day and ask for permission to go and take a piss. You had to listen to the female teacher who doesn't know anything about masculinity. She didn't think about, oh, how can I make these boys more masculine to actually prepare them for life? No, all she is thinking about is, how can I silence this class so I can just talk without anybody interrupting me? How can I make sure the boys don't get hurt when they are play fighting? How can I make sure they don't break something? But that is what we do. That is what we are supposed to do, and they are suppressing this. And what does this lead to? Well, look around. It leads to a young man who is developing gyno. It leads to a depressed young man with low testosterone who has fatty hips like a girl. It leads to a young man who is much more emotional, and those types of people are dangerous. Not this toxic masculinity bullshit. There is no such thing as that. The dangerous men are the emotional men, because they can't control themselves. And this doesn't mean that expressing some emotions is bad. Of course, even I preach gratitude, kindness, those are good emotions, and you should try to have more of those in your life. But telling people that it's okay to cry or to be lazy, that's not okay. Like, why would you want to feel like that? Why would you want to feel negative? That's stupid, right? And these people want you to live like this. This advice, just do whatever you feel like. That doesn't work, because when we do whatever we want, whatever we feel like, we hurt ourselves and we hurt other people. So it's not okay. And that's why we need to be more masculine and less feminine. Masculine energy is basically about pursuing your goals. It's about working on your goals, and once you achieve them, you go to the next one, and then the next one. And the feminine energy is all about love, joy, friendship, empathy, relationships, and nurturing. And this is important. We all have both of these inside of us. Nobody is 100% masculine or 100% feminine. So what matters here is the ratio between being feminine and masculine. I think that nowadays most men have about a 50-50th split. But the men who feel really good and energetic, who feel really happy and content with themselves, are more like 80-20. We are always going to have some feminine energy inside of us, but that is not a bad thing. Our ability to love and be grateful is really important. Even the men you see online, who look super masculine, like Andrew Tate or David Goggins, even they have some feminine energy inside them. Even they show emotions sometimes, but they can control it. Even me, the work I do is a little bit feminine because I have to use empathy to understand your problems. So feminine energy is actually good, but you don't want to have too much of it. You don't want to have a surplus. And so, how do you become more masculine? Well, by doing the things that masculine men do. Start focusing on your work more. Start being more obsessed with your goals. It will be hard at first because you are so used to people telling you what to do. So you will have to learn these things, which won't be easy, but it's possible. When you do that, you are becoming more masculine. But what you also need to do is focus on being less feminine, and the way to be less feminine is to start devaluing emotions. This is controversial to say because the modern day propaganda will tell you, oh, love is everything, and happiness is the most important thing in the world. But no, the most important thing is the mission. Happiness is just a fleeting emotion, and this doesn't mean that we want to feel bad. No, we would like to feel good if we could, but when we are not, that doesn't stop the mission. That doesn't stop us from achieving our goals. Trying to prioritize happiness will lead you to hedonism. It will lead you to constantly try to get pleasure, and that will lead to you hurting yourself and by extent, hurting other people. Masculine men are like rocks. They don't subdue to what feels good. They do what needs to be done, no matter how they feel. What is the current goal right now? Maybe it's to finish watching this video and have a good understanding of what masculinity really is. Once that's done, you have another goal. Maybe you haven't meditated today, then the goal is to do that. And then the next goal is to go read 20 pages of a book. You focus on these tasks that need to be checked off. You focus on the purpose. That is how men are supposed to live, but we don't. We haven't been raised like this. Most men grew up without fathers in the home, and so they are more feminine than they should be. They don't have a role model, they don't have any masculine friends, and so what is the solution to this? Well, find friends with similar goals, find friends who are also on this journey of becoming more masculine and purposeful, men who don't want to be feminine like the modern world convinces them to be. And how do you find these people? I want to do this. Go into the comments of this video and introduce yourself, like, hey, my name is Jack, I am from Berlin, this is my Discord username, or like the hashtag thing. Let's hop on a call. Most of you won't do this because you are pussies, but those who will, you guys have potential, and just this one thing will speed up your process of improving. If this video does well and some people will actually see this, there will be a bunch of young guys on self-improvement becoming friends, and I think that is a beautiful thing. So share this video, give it a like and stuff like that, whatever the YouTubers say these days, so it gets recommended to more people, and therefore we can get more guys on this journey. Go do something productive and bye.